Hello, 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 everybody. How are you? Happy Friday to you all. Hope that you guys are having an amazing start to your weekend. We're still in lockdown in South Africa. We are joined today by CapeTownMagazine.com. We are GoodLuck. This is our show called The Lockdown, which is just bringing you some happy, positive vibes all the way from Cape Town during the lockdown period. And today we've got a bumper show full of awesome South African entertainers, as well as some good news stories. And it's episode number 20. Can you believe it? It's episode number 20. Ben and I can't believe it. It's gone really quickly. We've been in the lockdown for quite a long time here in South Africa and in Cape Town. And just to kick off, we thought we would show you guys what we've been doing. We've made these awesome little masks which say luck on them, because you can never have enough good luck when it comes to coronavirus. So here you go. There's luck. We've got a camo one. We've got a good one for those of you who want to be good. And we've got a beautiful rose gold one as well. So if you want to get your hands on one of these masks, super easy. Head to the link. It's on the side right now. It's bit.ly/GoodLuck mask. We do deliver in South Africa only at the moment. Hopefully, when we open up our borders, we'll be delivering these worldwide as well. So if you're in the Netherlands, if you're in Germany, welcome to you. We're also going live with Kapstadt Magazine, Pint NL, and Germany as well. Very, very cool to have you guys here with us today. And yeah, what an awesome day to be celebrating. It's beautiful weather in Cape Town. Hope it's beautiful weather wherever you are in the world. My name is Jules, and we're going to kick off this episode 20. With a super good news story. We aim to bring you guys positive vibes to keep you inspired during this difficult time. And the first good news story we're going to share with you is this really, really cool idea that a man had growing up without a father. He decided that because he'd grown up without anyone to teach him how to be a dad, or without anyone to show him the basic things of, being a young guy, being a young boy, he decided to start a YouTube channel. And what this YouTube channel is, basically he made a Dad How Do I YouTube channel and gave his most practical and most awesome dad advice. That's what he calls them, dad advice. And it's tutorials on everything of how to shave, how to do a tie, the simple things that our dad showed us showed you perhaps when you were younger. And this is really cool. His name's Rob Kenny, and this is a little clip of what he's been doing with his YouTube channel.
Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to tie a tie. Couple quick hints for you. When you're picking out a tie, you want to pick out a tie that has some sort of color that picks up something in your shirt. It's just an added classy little touch, okay? So we go ahead and flip up our collar. Take the tie, put the fat side down. This is an important part because at the end, you want the tie to come out right about your waistline. Looks cool that way. If you have it up here, that's dorky. If your knot's big and you got a short tie, dorky. You don't want to do that, all right? Just telling you. Okay, so we go ahead and get started here. And we take the fat side, right? And we go around the front, come around the back. We go down through the hole right there. You want to pay attention to that knot there while you're doing this. You want to pay attention to that knot because you're kind of building the knot as you go along, right? Okay, so we're good here. Then we come across the front. We go around the back and come through. And now you still want to pay attention to that knot. And then now you're coming through there. Okay. See how we got that nice knot now? And then there you go. We've got a beautiful knot. Now we take this and we drop this collar down. Make sure you don't have anything sticking out the back. That's also dorky. Okay, and then you go ahead and cinch it up. And I don't even think you need to button this. I don't normally. I need to leave it a little bit loose so I can actually breathe. I bring it on up. Got a nice clean knot. Came out to right about my waist. Perfect. Looks good. Then I use a button down collar because that always makes it nice and clean at the end too. Makes it easy. All right. There you go.
How amazing is that? Geez, dad advice for anyone who, you know, that's the little things that we take advantage of our dads just showing us how to do a tie, how to shave, you know, my dad taught me how to drive. Simple things, I'm sure we can learn a lot from this dad. It's so cool that he's doing this for all the kids out there who haven't grown up without a dad or who have struggled maybe. You know, I think that's a really awesome thing, and he's using his time in the lockdown to the best of the world's advantage, being a positive, uplifting, wonderful human being. So thank you so much. I really love that. Speaking of positive people and people that are making a change and making a difference in the world, the SPCA, what an incredible organization. You know, I think in this time where we've all been very focused on getting humanity through the lockdown and getting humanity through COVID-19, you know, we've all focused on feeding people, and obviously that's very, very important, and the most important thing right now is to get our fellow citizens through this with us. But one element of life that we cannot ever forget about is our animals. They are equally as important as we are, and the SPCA has obviously been working tirelessly for many, many years to make sure that everybody who, you know, is loves animals, wants to look after animals, wants to support animals, has an outlet to be able to do that. And what's really, really awesome is that through this time, they've come up with a bunch of initiatives to also remind people that it's not just about people, it's also about the animals. So yeah, they've been doing amazing work in this lockdown period. And we're gonna watch a little video about what they've been up to. This is the Cape of Good Hope SPCA. This is a video about Lulu.
Lulu wants tummy tickles. I can see. Who's there, Lulu? Who's there, Lulu?
You're gonna go meet Marvin. You're gonna meet Marvin. First meet.
Who's that? I'm very upset. I don't know when last I walked into this house here, but I'm upset.
Oh my gosh. How incredibly beautiful was that video? Oh, it makes my heart so happy to see animals. And that was Lulu. She was taken out of the dirt, out of the garbage. She was rescued and she was rehomed and she was put through the SPCA process of rehabilitation. And now she's the happiest little fluff ball ever. So she's so super cute. And on the line, I think we've got Tara, as you chat to us from the SPCA. Tara, are you there?
Yes, hello. How are you doing, Jules?
Hi, I'm so good. Happy Friday. How are you?
And happy Friday to you. I'm very well, thank you. I'm a little bit teary after watching that video again. It gets me every time.
It's so sweet. So did you know, is Lulu one of the dogs that you had to look after and put through the process?
Well, for me personally, I can't take credit for that. I did get to meet Lulu and I was a part of the story, but in fact, my manager, Belinda Abram, had come across her when she came into our care, and Belinda just fell in love with her and it became one of her sort of personal special projects. And then thankfully, we were able to find a home for her. And actually, I want to give credit to the owner of Lulu, who is called Andreas Halper. He actually put that beautiful video together for us. So yeah, overall, it's a beautiful story.
Wonderful story, and I think the work that you guys do is so amazing. You know, just I think this time has been obviously very difficult. Everyone's been focusing a lot on how we get humanity through this, how do we get the people through this who are struggling economically, and often I think, you know, animals get left behind in top of mindness. You know, have you guys found that the support has increased during this period, or have you struggled to keep you know, donations coming in and everyone supporting what you guys are doing?
That's a really good question. It's twofold. I think absolutely we've seen a beautiful outpouring of support from those that can, but obviously given the nature of what COVID has done to so many people's livelihoods, you know, donations are impacted, which is a very scary process, and we have to work doubly hard to find ways, innovative ways to raise funds, and also in these times it's the best and the worst, and we're seeing the best in people, but unfortunately we are seeing an increase in animal cruelty cases because a lot of people, as you say, they let animals slip through the cracks and animals are forgotten, and now with everything going on more so than ever, we're seeing more animals abandoned. So we need people support more than ever now.
That makes me sad to hear. I know. I think, you know, it's a lot of people at home at the moment, and I'm sure, you know, with the limitation of volunteers being able to travel around and get to the areas where there are lots of cases of animal cruelty, I can imagine it's not been the easiest task for you guys to actually get into these areas and rescue the animals that need rescuing. How have you managed to navigate the lockdown as an organization in terms of that?
As much as lockdown changed everything, the one thing it didn't change was the fact that the SPCA was going to be there no matter what. Our staff, our inspectors were still available 24/7. It's business as usual for our inspectors. They're still going out regardless of what's to them. We obviously make sure that anyone who is working with the SPCA and the public that are able to come to us now are protected. We have all the various PPE equipment, sanitizing products available. No one is allowed on premises without masks. So we're doing the best we can with all of the necessary regulations, but our staff are still working as hard as they ever have.
Oh, that's wonderful. And have you noticed there's been an increase in people wanting to come and adopt animals during this time and help out, you know, from an adoption perspective, or how have adoptions moved through the last few weeks? What have you noticed?
There definitely was an uptake in adoption interest, which was a beautiful thing to see, because that was people obviously deciding in a time of crisis. They understood the pressure that SPCAs and welfares are under. But then we were tasked with the issue of lockdown, and unfortunately, you know, it's sort of a situation where, yes, we are open for adoption, but we cannot release the animals until levels are reduced and we're allowed to transport animals. So it's a catch-22. But we obviously want people to know that we're still here. We still have beautiful animals available for adoption. So we can facilitate the process. We're doing amazing virtual meet and greets, which we're really excited about. So there are ways around it. It's not perfect, but people have been incredible and still want to adopt, which is the most important thing for us, aside from preventing cruelty.
And in the Western Cape, how many animals, do you have a rough idea of how many animals are looking for homes at the moment?
Well, for us, just specifically at our welfare in Grassy Park, we probably have about 80 to 100 animals that would be looking for homes in the near future. So there are always going to be kennels in need with a little animal there looking for a home. So the need is always there. It's never going to be a case of we don't have enough animals.
Cool. So if you are out there and you have a loving home and you have a safe place for an animal and you're looking for a fur friend, guys, now is a great time because you can spend so much time with your pet and you can really put the love in and reap the reward, I think. So now would be a really good time while we're still in lockdown or while we're still, keeping ourselves very much in one spot at home. It'd be a great time to go out and support the SPCA and adopt a pet. But there are other ways to support. If you're not able to adopt at the moment, how else can we support you? Would you have any fundraising initiatives? Is Comrades for Change is something I've been reading up about.
Correct. So we obviously have a lot of sports challenges going on throughout the year, and we have amazing athletes that are known as Team SPCA. Sadly, for obvious reasons, they can't participate now in these events. So Comrades was the next event set to happen. Obviously, it's not happening, but we had one incredible Team SPCA member called Marika Smith. She's actually a healthcare professional at SPCA. She's a registrar in anesthesia. I can never say anesthesia, so apologies. This beautiful person who's on the front lines dealing with the COVID health crisis has decided to also help raise funds for the SPCA. So she's doing a parking lot run, and she's going to run the equivalent of the Comrades Marathon.
Sure.
So you can come onto our site and you can find the link and obviously support her. And we just think what a beautiful human, a perfect example of the best that humanity has to offer in times of crisis.
So we have to just go to the Give and Game page, Comrades for Change. You guys can either search it on giveandgame.com, Comrades for Change, or we will put the link as well in the description on the side, in the comments. Do go and support her. What an awesome initiative. And all the funds that she raised are going to the Cape of Good SPCA to enable them to continue doing the incredible work that they're doing. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you do for us, for the animals, for the country, and for having such a beautiful heart. Is there any other way that we can get involved? Maybe this is obviously going to be a short-lived campaign. Is there anything else that we can do to continue to support you guys in your mission?
Absolutely. Just please follow us. Number one, follow us on Facebook so you can keep up to date with all of our news, all of our rescues. At the moment, we also want to give back to everyone out there who is inside their house and maybe getting a little bored. You can actually sign up for our Zoomies prizes, and we can bring a dog into your space just to cheer you up. There's no cost, but it helps us share awareness for all of our adoption animals. So that's kind of our thank you to everyone helping us. We want to just bring some cheer, and nothing is happy than a puppy or a kitten. So come to us and we'll sign you up.
That's so lovely. I think we'd love to do that on the lockdown. You can bring a puppy in, or a dog, or a kitten, and we love cats, so maybe a kitten in to come and cheer us up. And that would be super nice. Let's organize that. We can have some animals on the show to show everybody what they're missing out on if they don't have a fur friend at the moment.
Thank you.
Lovely. Sending big hugs from everyone who's watching. Is just saying thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Nadia says she's so happy that SPCA is still doing what they can. It's sad. If she had a bigger place, she would adopt way more animals. She probably has quite a few already. So you have the support of so many people who are just so proud of the wonderful work that you're doing, and just please continue to be a champion for our fur buddies.
Thank you so much, everyone. Love you, and thank you for sticking by our side during all of this.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tara, for joining us. That was Tara from the SPCA. She is a champion of the SPCA. She works for them, and she's just, a wonderful human being looking out for animals and animal rights. So if you can, guys, if you've got space in your home, go out there and adopt and bring a loving animal into your house. It'll be so nice, I think, now during this lockdown, to have somebody or someone to cuddle up to, especially of the furry nature. So go out and grab yourself a little animal, or please do donate to their cause. They've got wonderful, wonderful causes that you can help them just continue the good work that they're doing, rescuing animals in distress, feeding animals that need food and a place to stay, and just generally, looking out for those who are loyal, wonderful friends to us. So, with that in mind, who we got next? Ooh, we have got our friend, a very, very good friend coming up on the show, which I'm very excited about. So we've known this gentleman for quite a while. He's been interviewing us, gigging with us, talking about our music for many, many, many years, and we've kept in touch, and whenever we get to speak to him, it's such an honor, and it's a bit strange for me that I'm going to have to be interviewing him now because he's no stranger to the airwaves. He's no stranger to the South African media scene. His name is Nick Hamman, and he's got some very exciting news which we're going to share with you. Nick, are you on the line? Are you there? Can I see you? I see two of me.
I'm so here. Can you see me?
I can see two of me right now.
I'm here.
One, I think Ben's having
I'm
a bit of a crisis
here.
of. We'll get you. Hang on a second. We'll get you. Ben's just having a technical glitch
Can
in
you
the
hear me
system
at
here.
least?
I can hear you perfectly. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, amazing.
2 seconds. We're just sorting this one out. So Ben is juggling about 5 people's jobs here, trying to. There he is. Hello, Nick.
Hello. What's going
How
on?
are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm genuinely really well. I was just busy sending a message to one of my housemates. I see the bin guys are here, and I'm worried they haven't taken the bin out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is COVID problems. I know it's the same. We have it every single Monday. I hear the truck going by and I'm like, we haven't done it. And we're stuck here talking to everyone on TV.
dude.
What are we going to do? So tell me now, this big news that you have, let's just jump right into it. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I've watched your career from the beginning until now, and I'm not going to tell everyone what's happened. They probably already know, but you tell everyone what's happened to you in the last few weeks.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's interesting because I've been holding on to this information for quite a while. We were supposed to launch, if I can say, I think it's fine. We were meant to launch earlier than we did, but obviously because of the lockdown, everything had to get pushed back. So I had to go under like an extended NDA with everything. But basically, I've finally arrived at the 5 Drive show on 5FM, which is incredible. It's something that I've wanted. Thank you. Since I started out in radio, and I think it's time, and
It's time.
I've been able to put my own team together, which is amazing. And it's been so much fun. It's incredible to have a voice and a platform like now, especially.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Nick. You're so deserving. I mean, you've really put in the hours. You've taken radio, and you've not just focused on radio instead of sitting in a studio. You've gone out and you've done shows around the country, and you've explored places, and you've unearthed. You've been a champion of places in South Africa that none of us even knew about, and you've really put in the hours. And I think, for me, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that you're finally on the Drive show. It's long, like you said, it's long overdue, but it's wonderful that it's come around. And as you said, a very, very good time now to be doing that with COVID-19. How have you adjusted? Have you managed to, because radio, obviously you normally go into a studio with loads of people, and I presume that's not been the format recently. You've had to probably do it at home. How have you adjusted to the situation?
It's been interesting. So you mentioned the traveling around that we'd done as a show before. That kind of made this whole thing really easy because we've been testing remote broadcasting for the last couple of years. I mean, we've done the Heritage Tour. We've broadcast everywhere from jacuzzis to mountaintops. And as a result, when they said you kind of need to go home, it was really easy to do. But having said that now, so it's kind of like the rest of the world where we continuously, almost week for week, go into some new kind of risk-adjusted approach, depending on what the SABC is telling us, or depending on what level of lockdown we're on or whatever. So basically the way to understand it now is that I'm in one studio and then my team are sort of spread around the rest of Gauteng, and we're using, as I'm sure you guys are now as well, like a combination of programs and products and equipment to make it all work. I hope no one really notices, but I think it is like a little noticeable.
A lot of programs, a lot of combinations. Yeah, I really feel you do. Yeah. I must say, we chatted to you really early on the lockdown, on your show, before you moved to your amazing new time slot, and you're also just like pioneering how to do a radio show from your home, and I got to take my hat off to you, dude. Well done, because you nailed it, and I think we were chatting about the tech that you've been using. And you're ahead even of the SABC, it seems, which is amazing. You're doing things.
I think that's fair to say, yeah.
I can't believe that's crazy, Jules.
Oh man, Nick, I think it's so awesome. And Are you kicking? So you've already started the drive show, am I right? Or are you kicking it off from the beginning of?
Yes.
Okay.
No. We're 2 weeks in now.
Because I remember getting a call from your producer just saying like it's happening tomorrow, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. It's just like being launched,
Right.
But then when you spoke now, I wasn't sure because you made it sound like it was still secret, so I was like a bit confused. Anyway, yes. So tell me, your team, have there been any changes in your team, or are you still the old favorites from before? Have you managed to bring everybody with you? How's that all panned out?
So it was amazing. I had so much discretion in terms of who I wanted to bring onto the team, and I thought long and hard about like what I would want to say if I could sum up a good drive show in a sentence.
Yeah.
And I workshopped it with Mad Money Mike, who's like my longtime collaborator, and we came up with this idea of the unapologetic voice of South Africa, meaning to say that we wanted to be representative but never shy away from things and never think that there's anybody who can't say a certain thing or think a certain thing, and we wanted to be as like cool and open and edgy and
That's awesome.
forward thinking as possible. So I then got to put the team together, and to do that I brought Nadia Romanos, who was currently doing news on Drive. I think she's fantastic. Also, she's like really interesting.
Yeah.
She's super into movies, and like she's big on like the whole streaming thing and stuff like that. So I think she's rad from that perspective. And then I brought Jude van Wyk, who's been doing sports on breakfast, and I think like they've been sleeping on that guy for the last couple of years, because aside from just being passionate about sport, which he obviously has to be, he's also really like, he's an interesting dude. He's got a super cool taste in music. He's really funny. We got him to phone his mom the other day pretending that he was getting arrested, and his mom just went nuts and like
so he's over
had a breakdown live.
That could be like a whole section to a show.
Absolutely. And then the last member of the team is BB on Traffic, and BB's someone who was doing social media at 5, but just through getting to know her and see her personality, I was like, this chick is going to do powerful things if you give her a microphone. And it's only been 2 weeks, but already the kind of stuff that she's been pulling out the bag has been insane. Like, I mean, she was actually the reason we were able to get, you know, that meme where the Ghanaian pallbearers rock up and dance for you?
Yes.
She managed to like track them down and get them on the show, and it was like the first interview in South Africa, and it was hilarious, dude. Yeah, so like it's paying off already, and I'm really excited about what's going to happen.
That's good. I think, you know, you're only as good as the people in your team, and it's wonderful that you guys have got such a good synergy and you're working together so well.
Yes, I agree, Jules. You're only as good as the people in your team.
You were the one who actually couldn't get Nick on the show for the first 5 minutes, so I mean, there we go. Who's the weakest link? Anyway, Nick.
I think that was my fault.
No, it wasn't. It was ours. But bless you, Nick. We've also seen you. You know, you're no stranger to the live music scene, and I think a lot of people know this about you, but maybe not everybody. You are an incredible percussionist and drummer, and you also so you've done a similar approach to what Ben does, where you DJ and you accompany it with drumming. And that whole side of life is completely obviously dried up for you, as it has for us. Are you still managing to do some music, focusing a little bit on music, or are you all radio at the moment? What's your full process on that?
Yeah, so I'm obviously not performing live. I haven't yet done anything like you guys have with sort of jumping on a live performance. I have been asked a few times to do something, but I kind of like, at the moment, I'm really just sort of focusing on the show. It's a new team, and it's like, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world at the moment. And like, I really want to be super good at one thing right now. So that's kind of how I'm looking at all of that.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I think it's, you've got to use this time to kind of focus on the skills that you want to improve on. I've been learning guitar, but like not giving it enough time. But that's
have you?
Amazing.
Trying to.
What did you also?
Nick,
did you also see the one time when she picked up the guitar? Just the one time. Must have been the same time I saw it. That you saw it.
No, man. You're so mean. Sorry, I got very dry lips today. He's been so fixated on, I've been so fixated on just this one song because it's bar chords, you know, and I've been like, I have to master bar chords. But I'll get there. I'm going to record it and release it next week, I think, I hope. You know, it's just time. These things, I mean, this show, for example, was something that we didn't plan on doing. It was just supposed to be like a chat show in the lounge, and it's just kind of grown, and the guests that we've had on have been incredible, and it's been
Until today, really.
An unintentional focus.
Nick came on and ruined it all.
You too. Listen, just in case you guys are wondering about this Ben and Nick banter, they've got a long-standing relationship. You guys went to school together, right?
Well, we went to the same school.
Different times, but same school. Yeah.
Okay, but you had the same teachers and you have the same war stories.
Yeah. I think we'd both recognize an Alan van der Merwe probably comes up in both of our lives.
Amazing teacher, super cool guy. Bless him.
Yeah.
So Nick, the future for you.
His son was at school with me.
The future for you guys and where you want to take this radio element. I mean, I know that you're focusing on radio and you've obviously had this incredible opportunity to be now the drive time on the biggest commercial radio station, the drive time presenter. But are you looking to perhaps expand to like a visual element down the line? Do you have any dreams of taking radio, into like maybe like a slight broadcasty TV side of things, or what are your big, hairy, scary goals for Nick Hamman?
So I really enjoy the content creation side of stuff. So with radio, I want to get radio back to a point, afternoon radio, where it's worthwhile to listen to, where it's entertaining and engaging, and I think like there's a lot of work that needs to be done to get it back to that level for the space that we're in now. So that's the big thing. But I mean, like aside from that, I'm busy helping build a school radio station at the moment now with a group of schools in Gauteng. I'm getting involved with it's like a satire writing group that I've recently just joined as well. They're doing quite well. Yeah. I just don't want to say too much about who they are, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be front facing or behind the scenes with that.
Okay.
But I just like making content. Like if I can live my entire life creating things, I'll be very happy, whatever awesome. Sort of avenue that's in.
Yeah, wherever it goes. That's really cool. I think that's quite similar to our thinking at the moment. Nick, I wanted to ask you a question as well. Because I know that, you're taking this approach with your radio show of being unapologetically, what is it? Unapologetically true or real? Or
unapologetic voice of the youth of South Africa, I think that's our thing.
There we go. Okay, so as the unapologetic voice of the youth of South Africa, I'm going to ask you a question now, which is maybe a bit controversial, but I think a lot of people are reaching out to each other on opinions on what's happening at the moment. What are your thoughts on lockdown? Do we stay or do we go?
So I have had on my show quite often a lot of the experts that have often made the news as faceless names. So very often we get referred to as the experts as this collective unknown. So what we've been endeavoring to do over the last 2 weeks is track these very specific people down and get their points on things. What has upset me a lot about the lockdown in South Africa and globally as well is how heavily partisan it's become. It's like you're either for or against, and you're on one or two tribes, and that makes you a good and a bad person. For me, I would advocate for a risk-adjusted approach that is going to take into consideration less politicizing than has happened. I think some of the decisions that have been made have been overly political, which is not in the best interest of all of us as people. I hate the fact that the economic argument has become one that the media has attached to one side of the coin. I don't think that's fair. I think that the economic argument is totally legitimate, and I would like to see more credence being given to it. I do at the same time think that there is great need to understand that we do have in South Africa an overly burdened healthcare system anyway. We generally are considered to be living in a time of like 3 pandemics always. We've always got TB before this, we've always got HIV before this, and we've always had violence-related hospitalizations, which has heavily burdened the healthcare system as well. So I don't think that can be undermined. But this idea that the economy and the healthcare system are two things that need to be at war with one another, I also reject out of hand. I think it's silly.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
well said.
Well said, man. You've hit the nail on the head. Like, why should you? It's crazy how it's like there's two sides of the fence, and either you're on one or the other. But I mean, I'm exactly like you. I think I'm also a little bit on both, and I understand the need to kind of work with both at the moment. I mean, we've never had such a crazy pandemic in our lifetime. That's been so I suppose scary, but in some ways, a lot of people also look at it and going, is it that scary? Because the stats don't really make it look that scary. So it's very confusing for just like the person on the street to sit there and go like, what? I don't really understand this. And I mean, one part of me has always been thinking like, is there something they're not telling us? Perhaps, the governments of the world, they know that we don't know, or I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, the reality as well, which can be quite comforting in a weird way, is to acknowledge the fact that a lot of governments are making a lot of really bizarre decisions all over the globe.
Yeah.
So it's like not only in South Africa, because very often I think as South Africans we have this complex to think that if something is going wrong, it's because South Africans are doing it. And in this instance, I think we're seeing a world that is incapable in many ways of adequately handling something to the degree to which it needs to be handled. So yeah, absolutely. I think there are lots of indications of things that have been unnecessarily draconian or have been overshot or have been done in ways that aren't necessarily taken into consideration other kinds of things that are also super important. I don't know enough about the health side of things to comment on whether or not it is like an over. I mean, you can look at basic numbers, and they seem to support that argument for sure, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've got a very good context and a very good view, and a very kind of balanced view on everything that's going down. So thank you for sharing that with us. It's really cool that we got to hear that. I had to ask you because your opinion is very valid and counts. Nick, it's been so nice to have you on the show, and just big congratulations from us for finally locking in that drive slot. We're just so proud of you and all the incredibly hard work.
Well done, boy.
The many years you put in, you are like a rock in the radio industry, and everyone is just very, very grateful to you for all the hard work that you've put in over the years. So thank you very much for that. And long may it last.
Thank you. Thanks for thanking me for the show, man. I appreciate it, guys. It's so good to chat to you.
So nice to chat to you. It's weird interviewing you. It's like normally the other way around. But anyway, it's very cool that we managed to do this. Nick, that is Nick Hamman, everybody, from 5FM. Have an awesome weekend, dude. Super nice to have him on the... And yeah, catch him on the show. Tune in. It's on the screen. Is it not on the screen?
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
3 p.m. 3 to 6 p.m. today. Tune in. Be there or be square. There's Nick Hamman, everybody, live on the Lockdown. Somebody is driving past at a rate of knots here outside my house, but that's all good. And I think we're moving on to music, guys. From radio to music, they go hand in hand. Obviously, 5FM are big supporters of South African music and no strangers to this band either. Very cool, very, very cool band from Cape Town, if I'm not mistaken. Yes? Are they from? No, they're from Joburg. I thought they're so Cape Townian in their vibe. They're from Joburg. I got it horribly wrong. Sorry, they're from Johannesburg. And we're going to play some music for you guys. You will be no stranger to this band either. They're having a wonderful live show. We've all seen them on the festival circuit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a song by local band Shortstraw. Here we go.
a deep enough sigh as I enter the void and dive in, dive in, dive in, dive in. I lost my mind in the beacon of it's love suicide.
That was Shortstraw, everybody. Alistair and Gad, we're going to have them on the line. They're going to be chatting to us from the band Shortstraw. I think they're in Joburg. I think they're ready to talk to us. Are you guys there? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. How is life up in Jersey? I got it wrong. I actually thought you were from Cape Town because you guys are a little bit Cape Townian in your vibe, but I didn't realize you're actually from Joburg.
You aren't the first person to make that mistake. Joburg.
Joburg. Okay, cool. All right. You're very non-Joburgy in your music and your look and feel and everything. But anyway, welcome to the show. Super nice to have you guys here on this Friday. How has lockdown been for you?
Yeah, it's been okay. You know, we're trying to go with the flow and do what we can to flatten that curve. My mom sent me a message yesterday saying she's been fattening the curve, which I think is quite appropriate.
Me too. I know, it was actually funny. I was talking to somebody in the shops the other day. They were saying since the beginning of lockdown, like the chips and chocolates have just spiked in sales. Like everyone's just been comfort eating. I think that's cool. You know, got to do what you got to do.
Butter.
My Woolworths never stock of the good stuff.
Hey?
It's like you go there and I go to my Woolworths and I have to try flavors that I've never even heard of.
Yeah, that's cool. Gad has a very eccentric palate.
I don't know, Caribbean salt flavored chips. I don't know, things I've never heard of.
Anything you can get your hands on. Me too. So guys, listen. We've been trying to book you for a long time for Get Lucky Summit. You guys are super busy. You're probably one of the busiest live touring bands, I think, in the country. How was it leading up to the start of this, and how have you adjusted, like as a band? You know, you say that you've been just working around and just kind of adapting. What have you been up to? How have you been filling your time now that live shows and your main, not only bread and butter, but your main activity that you guys are known for is just stopped in its tracks?
Yeah, so I mean, it's changed a little bit over the last couple of years. We were a very busy touring band up until like the beginning of 2019. And then when did we take a hiatus? In 2018. 2018 we took an hiatus.
Came back 2019.
Because the band isn't actually our bread and butter. We've all got day jobs to try and survive. So at the beginning of 2018, Tom, our guitarist, is a budding cinematographer. Not even budding anymore. He's actually really successful. And it takes up a lot of his time. Because he's amazing. Book him if you need a good cinematographer.
Oh, awesome. That's good to know.
Yeah. So he kind of was the main reason we took the hiatus, but we all needed like a little bit of time to just like focus on the other things in our lives. So we took a bit of a break then, and then we tried to kind of hit it hard again in 2019, but things just kind of got in the way. And now, obviously, we have the very the very awkward enforced hiatus of the lockdown. So we actually haven't played a show in ages.
The last thing we do is for the dogs.
Yeah.
For the dogs.
29th of end of Feb. We played the show Walkies, Night Walkies. So people came to walk their dogs.
Oh,
it was amazing.
Sweet.
We played and people were holding their dogs and dancing while we were playing.
That's so sweet. That's so lovely.
We played an acoustic show, so it wasn't too loud for the dogs. Just a disclaimer there.
we had the SPCA on the show, so that's kind of fitting. Tell me, you guys have day jobs. I actually didn't know that. I thought, Cheapers, I see you guys gigging all the time. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but for me, you're very busy. So tell us what you do. What do each of you do as your day jobs?
These rings under our eyes are real. So I co-own a production company up in Joburg. So we do a bunch of videos. We actually, little punt for our drama series we just finished cutting called Still Breathing or something. The series finale was last night. Still Breathing.
Still Breathing, awesome.
Yeah, little South African drama. So that's what I've been busy with. Gary, what do you do?
I do a few things. I'm currently writing a TV show about my pug, Nico.
Awesome.
And then I've been helping my dad. He's got laser machines, so we're making face shields and stuff.
So you guys keep yourself super busy, but it's all creative and it's kind of all
Yeah, Tom's obviously a director of photography. He shoots a lot of commercials and stuff. Russ actually owns the Bioscope, which is an independent cinema in Joburg, the only independent cinema.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And Jakey is a strategist. Yeah, he does like digital strategy.
So you guys are busy, eh?
We've all got them 9 to 5s. Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know how you do it because I think gigging the amount that you do and releasing all the music, and you were consistently releasing music for a period. I don't know when the last single. This was your last single that we just played now, right?
Yeah, Beacon Hour was the last single, and that was meant to be the kind of what do you call it? Epilogue, prologue.
Which is kind of the beginning of our coming out of our hiatus. And then...
It was meant to be the beginning of an album, but then kind of life got in the way, and we haven't actually finished recording.
And are you going to resurface that idea of doing an album now that we've got time? Some more time?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, as soon as we're allowed to get back in the studio, we're going to because we've got all the songs laid down on my phone.
Okay.
which is decent pre-production, I guess, but we've actually got to get them in the studio.
You should do like the phone edition. You should release it.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, if you use your imagination, it sounds okay.
This is where the bass would come in. Yeah, that's cool. But I think it's great that you are using the time to write. And what is the format of writing for your band? Do you guys all chip in? Does somebody more on the lyrical front? Is somebody else more on, melodies, production? How do you guys break that role up amongst yourselves?
Well, we get together and we kind of just jam. Usually someone starts and we find something. Jam, and then Al will start mumbling, and then the mumbles become words, and the words become lyrics. And then...
Yeah, I mean, it's changed over the years. When we first started, it was a matter of writing a song on an acoustic and then kind of taking it to the band and saying, this is the song, let's just finish it.
It does happen occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah. But now the groove that we found is to really write as a team. So it's nice to get everyone's kind of input in it.
In the same place.
Yeah, and it can be quicker sometimes. Sometimes a song can come together in 20 minutes, and sometimes it takes a couple of months. But it's a nice mix.
And I mean, you guys have also started making some little imprints into scenes in other parts of the world, the UK. I know you've toured to Europe and the UK. Am I right? And you had, I think it was in 2018 that you had a really successful tour there. Are there any plans to continue that, pushing the music overseas?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've been lucky enough to tour a little bit overseas. We go to Japan. We try to go to Japan every year. I think this year we won't.
Yeah.
But there's a very small indie scene there. Yeah, Japan, it's amazing. We try and tell everyone that if you've got an opportunity to go, you must.
You should go,
because it's an amazing country. And they've got a really small little indie scene that we're fortunate to be supported by. So it's justified for us to keep going back there. And then, we tried Europe and the UK. Which is a very expensive exercise, but it can be rewarding at times. There's obviously a lot of competition there, but one of our best shows of all time. Yeah,
I think it's so cool that you guys are focusing east, because there are not a lot of bands from the West or with Western culture do make the effort, and I think a lot of it's to do with language barrier, and just culturally being so far removed from what we're used to. When you go to Europe, it's like you can know how to order a coffee, you can get by, you can ask your way, you can still read. There's still like sort of letters A, B, C, D, and then you go to China and it's like, oh, okay, now what? You kind of you need someone to help you. But I think it's wonderful that you guys are exploring, taking your music to that part of the world, and I hope that you continue to grow it and get.
Cool.
Get
Yeah,
more...
thanks. I hope you guys make the mission to Japan.
Yeah, we will. We've been to Vietnam before, which was really cool, and to Singapore. We sort of Bali. We're like crawling our way there. Every time we go a little bit closer, then we'll get there eventually. But guys, it's been so lovely to have you on the show. Any exciting news coming up besides the album, or are you just focusing on that for the next period, or anything that you want us to know? Where can we find you guys on social media?
So yeah, I mean, look, we probably gonna depending on how these laws get lifted, we're more than likely gonna do a couple more of these live stream shows. But yeah, in the interim, we're going to be working on this album. So hopefully, in the not too distant future, we've got an album to start.
So your live stream shows, just go back to that. How have you been doing that? Have you been selling tickets? Have you been doing free shows?
So we've only done one so far, just because like acoustic shows aren't necessarily our forte, because we don't write like that anymore. So it's quite tricky to do a show when we aren't together. So we did one it was a Naked Insurance
Instagram Live.
It was an Instagram Live.
Okay.
I'm a bit of a tech noob, so I don't have microphones and fancy things like that. So it's literally just using the phone mic.
Straight
so
into
fortunately,
the phone,
people were forgiving, and it was nice. We'd have little like check-ins with everyone else in their respective homes, and it was cool. So we'll try and work in it to, like, now we can, at least some of us can get together at certain times too. Try and make them a bit better.
Well, keep up the music, keep up the good vibes, and where can we find you on all the socials if we want to find out a little bit more about?
At Shortstraw Band.
Shortstraw Band is the one.
And all of them.
At Shortstraw Band. Actually, it's on the screen right now. You guys can check it out. At Shortstraw Band across all of the
Instagram,
social media, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Go check them out, guys. Go show them some love for their new music and join on their streaming shows that they're doing. Guys, thank you so much for your time. It's been really awesome to have you on the show. I hope everything's great in Josie. And you guys
the weather couldn't be better. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
Very grateful, Diana. Thanks for doing the show. This is awesome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being a part of helping us keep South Africa uplifted and in a good space.
Champions. And hopefully we can do a Get Lucky Summit tour soon.
Yes, definitely. Next season, if it goes ahead in the format that we're hoping it will, we definitely want to get you guys in the mix for that. It'll be awesome.
Happy days. Thank you.
Guys, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Mwah. Bye.
Thanks so much. You guys too. Cheers.
Cheers. That was the legends Alistair and Gad from Shortstraw. I'm sure you guys are no strangers to that band and their great music and their live festival shows that they're they've been doing this for a long time, and we know and love them. Well, we've got a double bill on the music scene today because we're partnering with Cape Town Magazine and Kapstad Magazine Pintanel today. We're live streaming to their platforms as well. And so they've been doing some really awesome music and live music streams. They've been basically partnering with a bunch of DJs and artists like Zolani, as well as Dino Moran, and our next guest, who's Reddy D, who we're going to be chatting to in just a few moments' time. And if you don't know who Reddy D is, he is one of the most iconic. He's kind of like the Grandmaster Flash of like Cape Town. He's one of the most iconic DJs. He's been spinning vinyl and spinning records for many, many, many years, and definitely would have played a party that you guys have attended because he's kind of everywhere, and he's been everywhere, and he's done everything. I'll read you a little bit about what he's done. He's won the SA DMC Championship 4 times and also won the Western Cape Regional Champs with DJ of the Decade Awards. It's crazy. And he's been in various publications that have rated him amongst the top 30 hip-hop DJs in the world, right here in Cape Town. So yeah, he's got that hip-hop style. He's performed alongside people like Public Enemy, Fugees, Ice-T, James Brown, Rob Swift, Steve D, Will Smith, Black Eyed Peas, DJ Spinner. Guys, the guy's been around. He's done some shows. He's met some people. He's had some scenes in his life. It's really cool. So we're going to be getting him on the line. We're going to be chatting to him a little bit because on Sunday we have him going live on CapeTownMagazine.com. He's going to be spinning out some tunes, and he's going to be playing a live show for you guys on Cape Town Magazine, Pintanel. So do we have Ready D on the line? Is he ready? Is Ready D ready? Ready, steady, Ready D. Ready D.
Hi there, good morning. Good morning.
It's nice to see you, man. The last time I saw you was at Bridges for Music, the Ultra Gala Dinner. I saw you down
that's right.
I saw you from a distance. But it's lucky to see you. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, just hanging in there, trying to remain positive through these uncertain times.
But you've been
other than that,
you've been doing the most.
sure.
You've been DJing, you've been doing live streams and garnering the support from fans all across the world, specifically in the Netherlands and Germany, obviously through Cape Town Magazine. So have you just kept busy and kept your fans, going with your music and with your sets? How have you adjusted to the lockdown?
Yeah, I mean, I find myself streaming quite a lot though. And I mean, as you've mentioned, it's just an opportunity to connect with the fans and hopefully build up a new fan base. And just to share what I do, with as many people as I possibly can. And interesting enough, I've been doing quite a lot of collaborations as well. I've been getting calls from so many bands around the country. And in fact, AKA's new single dropped today, the Monumental track. So it's the first time I get to work with AKA. And there's quite a few other things that's happening.
That's
thank you.
And what was your involvement in the song? Were you working on the production, on the beats?
No, he called me up to lay down the scratches because he felt that he needs to focus more on hip hop as a culture. And there was a stage where the DJ was highly regarded and respected within a rapper's performance and in the culture. He called me up and he said that there's a disconnect and that's not there anymore. So he wants to focus on the cultural aspects of hip hop and bring those artistic values back into the music.
Bring a bit of old school back. That's awesome.
So I laid down the scratches for him because he wanted very specific scratch styles and patterns and these things.
Yeah.
And of course, he wanted my sort of feel and flavor to it. And that's the outcome.
I mean, that's what you're known for, right? You cut your teeth in being able to be like the master of scratching. And in South Africa, you're kind of known as the guy. Your performance is very visual. You don't just stick in a USB and we go. You really do perform as a DJ. And do you feel there's enough of that kind of culture in the DJ scene at the moment, or do you think it's something that hopefully will be coming back? What are your thoughts on what you do and how it integrates with the scene as it currently stands?
Yeah, it's quite awesome though, because there's so many DJs that are starting to surface and get involved, with this side of the culture and the music, of course. And I think it's probably a huge. I think the internet had a lot to do with that, because now people can access the videos, they can see the tutorials, and these things. But back in the day when I started off, everything had to be done by ear and we had to try and figure things out. So we didn't have access to many videos and information to actually see how it's done. But in this day and age with many big competitions and some popular brands coming on board, they creating these platforms for DJs to battle. So it's starting to gain that momentum again. And in South Africa, it's really looking good. That's right. Yeah.
That's very cool. And I mean, you've been at the forefront. You've kind of been like I said, the grandmaster. Can't say it without doing an accent. You're kind of the guy. You're the go-to guy in Cape Town specifically. The most well-known, the most famous for it. You shared, like we gave you an intro, and you shared the stage with some incredible international and local acts, and you've really had a wonderful career behind you. But you've been using that platform to put together this initiative, which is around social distancing and a feeding scheme. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that's right. I got a call from an associate. This lady actually works in theater though. So she decided to take the initiative to become proactive and to, kind of get a feet on the ground with feeding different communities. It started off in the Overberg region. And she sent me a message to say, "Dear, I got this idea." Being on the ground and going into these areas and seeing how people are actually queuing up for their food parcels, that's a problem. What can we actually do to ensure that people maintain their distance? And then we came up with the idea of doing a song, and we invited quite a lot of artists from across Cape Town City. Mr. Mark Lottering's on the track as well. It's called Keep It Open.
Oh, that's awesome.
We got Early B, Jerome Rex, we got Bliksemstraal, and there's a whole host of extra guests on the song.
From the community, a lot of heroes for the community, yeah.
Yeah, so the song's being played at all the feeding schemes though, and people enjoying the beat and they're listening to the lyrics, and they're actually maintaining social distancing right now because the songs, they are kind of getting them into that vibe and encouraging them, yeah. And I got to mention Fraser Barry's on the song as well, so he's
amazing. I'm going to get my hands on a copy and play it in Freycon because we still need to, some of the places that we're feeding, it's very difficult, especially with the children, to keep them socially distanced. They just want to bunch. You know, so I'm going to get all that song.
Let's chat. I'll definitely pass on the song to you.
Epic.
Absolutely.
Lovely. Thank you so much. So what is next in the world of Ready D? You've got a concert happening this Sunday. Do you want to tell us all about that? It's in partnership with CapeTownMagazine.com.
Yeah, thankfully with Cape Town Magazine coming on board, it's really awesome because they've helped me, you know, to get onto a completely different platform. And with my sets and with my streams, I try to give people a different experience all the time. So people know me for being a turntablist and being into hip-hop music. And I'm letting people know that overall, I'm a DJ. I love music in general. So we've been taking people across music genres. Since we started streaming, we did hip-hop, we did electro, we did dubstep, trap, we did Afro beats and all these things. So this Sunday coming, I'm going to be doing what's known as dancehall rhythms and party bangers. And there's quite a lot of music that I produced myself that's actually going to be in the set. It's all fresh music that I produced in this week. I produced about 9 tracks this week, and I'm playing most of them in my set.
You're a machine. We're definitely going to be tuning in to listen to. So a lot of dancehall in that mix as well. I love dancehall. Yeah,
tons of dancehall remixes, a little bit of experimental stuff. We call it altered frequencies because it's the non-commercial type of stuff that I try and go and get. If I do find a commercial song, I try to mash it up and give it a completely different feel, you know, to break away from.
Very cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Ready D, we will definitely be tuning in. Thank you so much for doing that. That's awesome. Keeping everyone entertained in their homes. If you guys want to check it out, you can log on to CapeTownMagazine.com. What time will you be going live on Sunday?
I'm going live at 9 p.m.
9 p.m. 9 p.m. Nice way to end off your week, guys. Tune in, go check it out. DJ Ready D is going to be on the decks. If you've never seen him live, where have you been, first of all? But if you've never seen him live, you're in for a treat. It's really fun to watch, and it'll be really cool a really great way to end off your week. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining us on the Lockdown. I think we're out of time, unfortunately. Would love to chat more, but thank you for everything you've done with the music scene in South Africa, for keeping it locked into real, authentic music. You know, for really just pioneering that and keeping it. Bringing that back to why we do this the whole time. I think it's wonderful that you're doing what you're doing. Keep it up.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I want to wish everybody all of the best during this COVID-19 period. And please adhere to all of the rules and the regulations because this situation depends on our behavior. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you're so right. Thank you so much. That was DJ Ready D, everybody, on the Lockdown. What a legend, what an awesome guy. He's been doing the most. And tune in to CapeTownMagazine.com on Sunday, 9 p.m. to watch his live show. Guys, it's been an awesome day with you. Thank you so much for everything you've been doing for us. You've been helping us get our donations up. We are sitting at over R500,000 today. We have a big 1-ton truck of fruit and vegetables being delivered to Freycon. We're going to go check that out. We're going to film it. We're going to bring you guys the latest lowdown on our feeding program. You've been really helping us help thousands of people get food and get a meal in their tummies. And just thank you so much for helping us help those who are struggling at the moment economically with the situation. It's been wonderful hanging out with you on the Friday. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Hope that we have to talk about we're gonna end it on a very good news story, guys. I know we talk about him every show because every show he does the most. I can't explain this guy. He took our sandwich challenge and he just basically, as Tim says, he's become the Usain Bolt of sandwiches. Troy has made 618 sandwiches that are going to be delivered today to Rainbows. Troy is an absolute gem. He's become Maimuna's favorite person who visits the center every day. So if you guys want to try and battle Troy, Get us the sandwiches, get them to the feeding scheme, and help us help feed as many people as we can and keep up the good work during this COVID-19. Troy, you're an absolute legend. We're very, very proud of you. Well done. What a champion, guys. That's Troy Fourie, who has just dropped off another 618 sandwiches at Rainbows. Guys, hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourself, relax, spend some time in yourself this weekend, do some gardening, have some fun. You know, just try and enjoy the time off. We hope that you guys have a wonderful time, and we'll see you back here 9:30 on Monday. Till next time, everybody, love everybody, look after yourselves. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and good luck.